So the next person I'd like to introduce is truly a member of our soul family, a wonderful sister. She's a healer. She lives on the island of Hawaii. She was chosen as medical professional of the year. Was that last year, Arielle? And so she truly is an incredible energy, a very balanced energy. She's a perfect example of that balance, of the true strength that is capable within the divine feminine and the true nurturing that is capable within the divine masculine. And that's where we're all headed to. And so she has written a book, an incredibly important book that is the first part of 3. She has it available. Urge you to go back and get a copy of this. And how about a standing ovation for my sister, Arielle Faith Michael.
Thank you. Good evening. Can everybody hear me pretty good? Okay. I'm very honored to be here with all of you, and I really want to thank Tib and Ann for putting together this wonderful event and for inviting me here to speak tonight. I'm so honored, and I thank you for coming. My website and my LLC is called The Golden Angel. For many of you that know me, I report directly to Archangel Michael, and he's my mentor, my teacher, and my protector. And as you know, Michael goes by many titles: Archangel, Lord, Saint. I call him simply Michael. December of last year, I wrote my first book, Faith of Michael, Make It Count. And as Tib said, I do have some copies here. It is also available on Amazon, comes in paperback and also in Kindle form. And the proceeds go to the Himalayan Cataract Project. This book gives like a small glimpse of my angelic life with Michael, the agreements we made when I came down here, and some of the funny stories that have happened since then. I think you will really enjoy. You'll probably really relate to them. For those of you that are new to the spiritual path, I'm what they call as a walk-in. A walk-in is a soul that comes in and does an exchange with another soul that's already in an existing body. So I walked into this body when it was 33, much better shape, and it was a single mom and also had 2 young sons. So what's it like being a walk-in? Well, it's the lessons and the learning curve is very fast, it's furious, it's often back to back. I often say it's because of the company I keep, which is Michael, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And there's things that you find out that you manifest really fast when you put it out there. And one of the examples I brought was when we all, the EK people, went on our pilgrimage to Israel and Jordan just 2 weeks ago. There where I am. I have always wanted to go to the Holy Lands. And on April 25th, my wish became a reality. Tib was leading 93 of us into Israel and Jordan. And I was just so happy because he says, all you have to do is receive. There's no activating, there's no anchoring, and I'm thinking, oh, this pilgrimage is going to be so easy. But I should have known something was up when I looked over at Michael and he had this kind of signature grin like, you think so, huh? So I boarded this flight. It's United 1205, it's very important. And it was leaving for Kona to LA, and it's like 1 of 4 flights over 2 days. So I'm going from Kona to LA, LA to DC, DC to Brussels, Brussels to Tel Aviv. The weather was great, the flight was full. So the plane lifted off. We eventually reached our cruising altitude, and I kind of just laid back, kind of thinking, okay, I'm in for the next 6 hours, so I'm just going to relax. Suddenly, the plane goes into a dive. I grab the armrest, and I'm looking out my window going, okay, there's no smoke, so that's good. You know, I don't hear any strange noises, and the flight crew is not acting weird, so something must be going on. And then, you know how you get those random thoughts? I'm thinking, okay, this better not be one of those Malaysian air flight scenarios where we go under the radar, we disappear into some vortex, because I'm going to be so pissed. I go, I want to go to Israel. The dive lasts for 20 seconds. It seems like forever when a free fall, and then it levels off. The pilot comes on, he apologizes to all the passengers, and he says, I'm really sorry. When we were at cruise level, there was another jet that wasn't supposed to be there heading directly towards us. We had to take evasive action and dive under it. So I figure, okay, I've had my glitch for the pilgrimage. It's going to be smooth sailing after this. I mean, what could happen now, right? These are some pictures from Israel and Jordan. I just loved being there. The people were wonderful, the food fantastic, especially the sea bass in Jerusalem. And the sites we visited were beyond phenomenal. There's just no words to explain what you receive when you walk in the land of the masters. The last day was spent at the Western Wall, sometimes called the Wailing Wall. And this place holds very special meaning for me. My father comes from a very long line of Orthodox Jews. I'm pretty much the black sheep. And he also dreamed of coming to Israel, but he never made it. So I actually made this pilgrimage for my father. My great-grandfather, he was named Israel, and several of my family members actually perished in the Holocaust. I'm here holding my father's Jewish prayer shawl, and I have my hands and my forehead up against the Western Wall. And I'm saying a prayer. It's called the Shema, and it's a Hebrew prayer. I'm saying it for my father. I also say prayers for my family, my friends, my workplace, the earth. I make sure everything's kind of covered. And at the end, my heart was it just had such a peace. I just felt this was the completion for me. Out of all the pilgrimages, this has brought me full circle. There are two things that Archangel Michael has told me long ago that still stands clear in my mind. And it's the event only presents itself when the soul is ready. The greater the test, the greater the mission, the greater the gifts. So my prayer usually was for the workplace. It's going through a lot of changes, there's a lot of stress, and besides that, my job has been actually amplified, and I'm a little anxious too. So besides doing the patients, I also have to tend to the staff. I do a lot of spiritual counseling, and I'm the holistic manager as well. So the things that I prayed for actually for three things. I wanted to be more courageous like Michael, because nothing ever shakes his confidence. I wanted my faith strengthened so that I can remain calm amid all the chaos that's happening at the workplace. And I wanted to be of greater service to the people around me in need. Now, the universe has great ears. You gotta be careful what you put out there. It manifests so quickly, and it doesn't always come the way you think it's gonna come. I think, okay, no problem. When I get to work, something will come up, and I'll be strengthened. I'll have this courage. I'll be so great. Huh? My last dinner in Jerusalem, I decided to forego my Perrier, and I had a cappuccino. I also needed one last photo for my album. So when the waitress brought my drink, it was the perfect ending to this magical journey. Look at that. That was awesome, but I've never had a cappuccino. So one thing I had never done, and you're not gonna believe this, being at 60 years old, one thing I've never done was take a selfie. You know, when you take your cell phone, you take a picture of yourself. I've never done that. Never say never. I thought this was my last photo. Huh? This was my last photo. Yep. This was the final leg of my trip home to Hawaii from LA. So I boarded this flight. We flew off to Kona. I was 3 rows from the front and at a window seat. And though the flight was completely full, there was only one vacant seat on the entire plane, and it was next to me. And I'm going, oh, I got room to spread out and relax. This is great. We were 3 hours into the flight. I looked out the window, and I was looking at the ocean going, oh, it's so good to be going home. I just feel I'm done. Then it dawned on me that this Arizona event was 2 weeks out, and I hadn't started writing my presentations. I'm going, you know, Michael, I don't have anything to write about. suddenly, I smell something mechanical burning. The lights, the emergency lights start flashing, and this gray smoke starts filling the cabin immediately. Yeah. We have the flight attendants. They're running up the aisle with all the fire extinguishers, and the smoke is coming out of the cockpit and the front lavatory. They can't put the fire out. And the pilot comes on, he says, "I'm sorry, we have an emergency." No, duh. And, and we need to return to LA. It's gonna take us 1 hour. And what was surreal about this is that the whole time this was happening, I was just very calm. And I just knew deep in my core that we were gonna be okay. I can't explain where that feeling comes from. It was just there. And from then on, it was like really like watching a movie and not being in it, which thank God. So the oxygen mask dropped from above, everyone's but mine. Yep. And I'm going, what the fill in the blank? Yeah, I'm telling, Michael, this is not the time for a cosmic joke. And I poured water over my blanket, I put it up against my face, and I'm trying to pry open the lid with my fingers. Finally, the stewardess comes by. She's got this little plastic coffee stirrer. We're so high tech. She puts it into this little hole, pops open the lid, and I put my mask on. I look out the window, and they're dumping the jet fuel. So the pilot announces, "Well, we're going to try and attempt an emergency landing on Catalina Island, right outside LA." And I'm going, okay, if I remember right, Catalina Island doesn't have a landing strip, and it's very small, so we're in for a very fast and a very hard landing. Then we're instructed to put on our flotation vests. Yep. And we practice getting into crashed position when they start yelling, what is it? What is that command that they give? I wish I felt like it was Mayday. No, it's called brace, brace, brace. And I'm so glad I paid attention to those demonstrations of how to put on the mask and the vest, because boy, it paid off. I was like, oh, it really does help. 10 minutes later, the pilot announces, "I'm sorry, the tower has said we have to try to make it to LA airport." So now we have 2 fighter jets flanked on either side of our jet, escorting us in, because they don't know if the fire is terrorist related. Yeah. Now here we go. We are descending into 900 feet. All of a sudden, this guy by the emergency exit gets up and starts screaming, "We're all gonna die! We need to get out of here! We're all gonna die!" Okay, the stewardess is really concerned he's gonna open up that emergency door and gonna suck all of us out of the plane. So she grabs him and escorts him to the only seat that's open, and this one next to mine. So he sits down, and he looks at me, and he says, "How can you be so calm?" And I told him, "I just have faith. I know we're gonna be okay." And he goes, "I have a heart condition. I'm on 15 medications. I got 10 stents. So I figure, okay, I need to redirect his thought process. So I go, "Well, where do you live on the Big Island?" He goes, "Oh, I'm down south." I go, "Oh, good, I'm up Waimea. I work at the hospital." And he goes, "Are you a nurse?" I go, "No, I'm the holistic manager." And then he yells, "I need holistic healing." So I go, okay, now I get it. Now I know why he's sitting next to me. So I put my hand on his shoulder. I take him through a guided meditation, just like do the patients and the staff, and he calms down. Yeah. And the whole time, he's looking out my window. And he's going, "Well, do you see land yet?" I go, "No, but it's coming up pretty good. Pretty soon. He goes, "Well, is there any smoke, any fire from the jet?" I go, "No." He goes, "Are they dumping fuel?" And I hear Michael whisper, "Don't go there." I said, "No, we're gonna be fine." Soon the tires hit the tarmac. The plane's engines immediately shut down, and we have this army of fire trucks and police officers as we're being towed into the docking station. The passenger next to me thanks me, and then he makes a beeline for the exit. He's the first one off the plane. So 5 hours later, I'm on another United Airlines flight, and that one is just smooth sailing. So I get home, turn on the 10 o'clock news, and there we are, the story of the day. Imagine that. So in closing, what I wanted to say was appreciate all that you have, every minute of every day. It takes great strength to go forward into the unknown. But in order to reach your highest potential and your greatest growth. Your desire to excel must always be greater than the fear of failure. So, as you spread your wings in full faith and jump from your comfort zone, one thing is certain: the Creator and the angels will provide the wind to carry you. Make it count. My heart to yours. Thank you.